Hello, everybody, and welcome to another My Music. My guest today is the lovely Sophie Griffiths, who is so lovely that before we even started this, she said, "Look, I've got to apologise in advance because I'm doing this from home, and my dog might bark or somebody else might come in." And I said, "You've clearly not watched enough episodes of this, have you? Because all of that can happen." I'm going to actually start today, Sophie, before we even get started, by showing you my dog. Is that all right?
Oh my gosh, I'd love that. I'd love that so much.
You want to see the dog? Right, here we go. Come on then. Here we go.
Oh look, hello. You are too cute.
He's now going, "Please put me back where I came from." Right.
He said I was sleeping, Dad.
He was all. If you know anything about many Dachshunds, they love to just curl up, pull a blanket over their head, and just stay there, almost motionless throughout the day. We will find out whether Sophie's exactly the same in a minute or two after this.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Well,
Sophie, so Sophie, are you a kind of dog under a blanket type person? Are you?
Yeah, do you know what? I love the dogs all come to my bed for a little snuggle.
Because a duvet day.
A duvet day, if you will. Sunday is usually my duvet day. I stick
Love
on.
it.
I've recently watched all of the Harry Potters again.
Ooh.
All of them, front to back, right? Because I realised my mum and my sister are massive fans. So I've watched like the films, but in like dribs and drabs, if that makes sense. But I haven't watched them front to back. So I've been doing that, and yeah, they've been loving it. Both, like, we've got a Boris is like a proper old man, and like if he could, that is like his dream day, just to lie on someone's bed like all day.
Oh yes,
every day.
Do you know what? I'm exactly the same as you, and I actually get stick from it in my house, right? Because, and they all go, "No, Dad, you have." Right? Because I sit there and I go, "I haven't seen this film before," and they go, "Yes, you have." But what I mean by that is there's so many films out there. Harry Potter's were one of those as well. Although we did it a little while back, we started and we watched them all the way through. But whereas everybody else in the house had seen all of them, right? I do this where I watch a bit of a film and then I wander out the room and then I get involved in something else. And then I don't actually see like 3/4 of the film, and I might come back in and just see the end or whatever. And so I'm not lying when I say I haven't seen it. I mean, I haven't seen it in its entirety until I'm actually forced to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, you're like strapped to the sofa. Do you know what? I feel like that's a bit of a dad thing, because my dad does the same thing, right? And he will insist, like October time when it's Halloween, he's like, "Let's all watch a horror film," right? No one else wants to, no one else wants to watch a horror film, right? Like it keeps me up. I can't do it. But anyway, grinds us down. We put a horror film on, and then he gets up and walks off. So we're left like midway, like shaking, like, and he's gone to bed, and it's like.
It is maybe what us dads do.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just really rubbish at organising like social stuff.
Yeah.
So we just think, yeah, let's do a film night. That's easy, right? Yeah. You just do like snacks, chocolate, crisps, popcorn, all of that.
Yeah.
Some drinks. I can pretty much organise that. It's kind of, it's kind of cordon bleu cooking for dads is just opening packets of crisps and tipping them into a bowl.
Gourmet, if you will.
Gourmet. So you do that, sit everybody down, and then, as you say, then you disappear off because, like, you think, "Oh,
done my job.
I've done that." Like, I'm not really interested in this film, but there you go. Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to talk to you about that. You are. Well, firstly, I have got to say before we do anything else, you are one bubbly soul.
Oh,
and I love that. I 100% love that. You have got an amazing kind of immediate bubbly energy, which permeates through both your personality and your music. And I feel like that's what attracts people to you.
Thank you. That's so kind. That's lovely.
No, it's absolutely true. But you're also a bit of an old soul as well, as we've been finding out a bit recently on your Instagram, etc. Because you love a bit of the yesteryear, don't you?
I do, as you could probably see from this room as well. Actually,
Absolutely.
I've always been a bit of like a nan, and like growing up as well, I was always a bit of like the odd one out in terms of like my music taste as well. So like everyone was, and I did love a bit of One Direction. Don't get me wrong, love a bit of the Biebs, whatever. But like I was listening to like Adele's 19 and like I don't know, Sam Cooke and like all this stuff. So I've always felt like a little bit of the odd one out. But yeah, I just love that kind of music, and yeah, it just speaks to my soul.
I love it. And you've got a kind of, it's almost like a shrine there.
Yeah, it is. It's actually a bit of a mess, so I do apologise. But
no, it's not a mess. That's organised chaos, and I love it.
That is me encapsulated.
But you've got sort of like Queen Amy at one end, and is that Prince at the other end? Prince.
Yeah, my dad is a huge Prince fan.
Is he?
He's a huge Prince fan. He used to follow him about like all across wherever he was playing. It was he loved it. So yeah, and me and my dad both collect vinyl, which is why there's like a ridiculous amount of it. So yeah, it's a shared space because I've got like a relatively musical family, so like a lot of these instruments aren't actually mine either. So they have like a collection of everyone's stuff.
Okay, so okay, we're going to go through a rapid fire of little questions here. Then now, favorite Amy song?
Oh, that's so hard. Stronger Than Me, Frank. Love that one.
Absolutely. I'm glad you didn't pick an obvious one.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Right. As well, because that's great. Favorite Prince song?
Oh God, my dad will actually. I need to get a good one. Raspberry Beret. I love that song. But again, that's a bit obvious. But
it's the kind you find in a secondhand store.
Indeed, yeah.
And that's important, right? Yeah. Because it kind of goes with the whole theme as well, isn't it?
Yes, it does actually.
Of light, which is really, really good. And then the ukuleles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a fraud. I must confess. But go on, ask. What question were you going to ask?
Do you play?
I play like 3 chords on a ukulele. Right. So I went through a bit of a phase when I was younger. Do you remember the Americans Got Talent audition, Grace Vanderwall?
Yeah.
Right. So when she was on there, I was like, right, that's it. I've got to become the next ukulele star. So I learned her song on there. But obviously, like those 3 chords also translate to other ones. So I went through a bit of a phase to the point where, you know, I've obviously bought these ones off Amazon. And then I was like, now we're getting a bit more serious here. This one was actually my dad's, and to be honest, that like these 2 are broken. Like if you took them off the balancing edge, they would snap in half. The other 2 are just incredibly out of tune. So people always comment on my ukuleles, and I was like, I actually do just feel like a fraud, but they're part of the ambiance now, so I've got to leave them.
how do right? So ukulele, isn't it? How do you write?
Good question. So I mean, I always, as like an artist, if I'm the artist in the room, I always start with an idea, like a title or a concept, because I'm a bit of like an eavesdropper in public. So if I like listen to people's conversations,
it's the best way, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. People come up with the best lines. So yeah, and if like a line really resonates with me, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I'll write it in my little notes app. And then I'll come back to it.
Sophie, where's the best place to eavesdrop?
The train.
Oh yeah. It so is.
People have the most random yaps, and also they gossip the best on the train, and I love listening to people.
Have you ever taken a train journey just to eavesdrop? You weren't actually going anywhere.
No, I haven't done. I mean, have you seen TfL prices these days, Graham?
Yeah, but well, you say that, right? But if you pick trains, if you pick the right train at the right time, and book it at the right time when it's really dirt cheap.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Right. You should do that sometime. Literally have no other need to use that train other than to write a song.
Yeah, that's actually a really good. Maybe that could be a new little series. I'll have to tag you in it.
That would be great. Yeah. You can
There we go.
literally just get on the train and go, do you know where I'm destined for today? Song destination. It's destination song. I do not know where I know where I'm going because I bought the ticket, but I
Yeah.
do not know why I'm doing this other than to write a song. I don't know who I'm going to meet today. If you kind of preempted it, because if you bought the ticket in advance and whatever and told people what train you'd be on, you could see whether you could get people on the train as well.
No, that's an idea.
That
That
would
would
be
be so
cool.
good, and then it'll be a little collaboration on the
Yeah,
train.
you could say if you're a fan and you buy a ticket for this train at this time,
I'll be there.
I'll be there. Right.
I like it. Do you know what the only danger is with that? Have you ever like fallen asleep on the train and you've ended up in like Scotland?
No. No.
Well, no, obviously not that far, but like, have you ever like got on a train and then you've ended up completely in the wrong direction? I really worry. Like, I do that on a good day. Could you imagine if I was writing a song and I got so into it?
I have missed a station before now. I have, because I was too busy talking to someone. So yes, it has happened. Right.
That happens. Yeah.
But generally, no, I've never had the one where you fall asleep. I've seen people do it. I've been on a train when people have they've got into the destination station, then they've gone back the other way, and I've seen them waking up, normally because they've had too much of the old grog.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Right. And then they've woken up on the train and they've gone, are we nearly at Waterloo? And you're like, well, this train's been into Waterloo. It's now going back to, and you're like,
oh no.
It's just like, it's great.
Literally, with their like McDonald's strewn across their lap and like, do you know what I mean? I had to wake someone up the other day because I was like, I can't leave them. Like, what if this is their stop? But she was just like so out of it. She was like, thanks. And I think she just went back to sleep. So I don't know if I helped, but
Sophie, the other place that I'm going to recommend to you, because I've talked about this before on this program, and a little known fact is I actually wrote a whole beta series of this for radio comedy one time, because I used to write radio comedy, right? Yeah.
Oh, sick. That's so cool.
And I wrote this whole radio comedy around it. Is the other place that you need to go to overhear great conversations is service stations.
Oh yeah, I bet actually. I bet. But then what, like while they're shopping in like the aisles?
No, you just sit in find a great
little
station with the best ones around here. Where are you based?
I'm Essex, if you couldn't tell.
Okay. All right. You can't tell because of the voice, because I sound like I'm like London way, but actually I'm based in Somerset.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
But the best one around here is Gloucester Services. So if you ever do a gig in sort of like Bristol area, make a trip out to Gloucester Services. It's lovely. All right. Okay. It's got these lovely little. It's all very eco-friendly. It's kind of a farm shop area, kind of thing going on. They've got these lovely little pods. It's all very green and eco-friendly and all of that sort of thing. And you can sit there in a pod, and you can just hear other people having their conversations. It's brilliant. But
the
thing I love about service stations, it's a bit like trains. And this is probably why you like it, is the randomness of who interacts with who, right? Because most places in the world, what happens is people as humans, they get into their own little groups, right, based upon like social class or what their beliefs or what their work is or whatever. And then you get these places like service stations or supermarkets is another one. That's a good one. Or trains, right? Where people have to come together. Right, from all walks of life. And that's what makes it interesting, because one minute you've got someone sitting there, and even more interesting when two people who have never met before start having a conversation and they're completely opposite ends of the spectrum. That's the best.
They are the best conversations.
Yeah.
And they make for the best song titles as well. So
they really do. They really do. I was on a bus. There's another one. I was on a bus that was a late night bus coming out of, I can't remember quite where, but it had on board, this is in the middle of London, and it had on board a whole load of very well-to-do people who had come out of the opera, darling.
Of course.
Right, and a whole load of punks that had come out of a punk concert.
No.
All on the same bus, and some of them were chatting. Imagine the conversations.
Yeah, I love that. Do you know what? I saw a video the other day, and it was it was a tube, and it didn't look like one. It must have been like the Central Line or something. And everyone was up and singing, like everyone from all different walks of life. And I thought that is British culture, and I just absolutely love it. Like everyone had had a few down the pub. They were singing Lionel Richie on the tube, and I thought, yeah, that's British culture. And
what a feeling. And we're dancing on the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. So good.
I love that. It has to be a song like that, though, not Hello, right?
Yeah.
It does get a bit creepy if people start feeling each other's faces and going like.
So everyone's just crying, like as a collective. Yeah, it'd be a bit of a different vibe, I feel.
Why should we? I'll ask this song and then this question. Sorry, not the song. And then we'll go on to the next question. Why is it we should be interested in older music? Why?
Because it's the OG of songwriting. I always say this: Motown is like the original pop music, and this is like super nerdy, but I am a bit of a nerd, so there we go.
True,
When you study the songs and the songwriting in particular, it's genius. And actually, like, we think that social media has made our attention spans really small, but short even, not small. But if you look back to those songs, it really appeals to attention spans now as attention spans were then, because it's human nature, right? So you get to that point, and it's very snappy, and that's why those songs are timeless as well. Like, that's why people are still listening to them, and like they're having revivals on TikToks, but because like they're amazing. Exactly. They're amazingly written songs, and I believe that if a song is well written, it will like live forever.
Litmus test, right? For any song, right? I don't know whether you remember this. There used to be a TV program that was on TV years ago, right? Name that tune. Do you know that program?
I don't, but I played the game, so.
Right, exactly. So you name. I love that. You name that tune in as fewer notes as possible.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the thing. If you can tell the song like in a couple of notes, just then that's it's a great song.
Exactly.
It's a great song.
Or just like the first line. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's when it's a great song, and also immediately what it's about. Like, I just think they're geniuses, and they're just the footprint of everything. So like, if there's an artist that you like now, that there's like a really strong chance that they're influenced by an artist from like back in the day, and like if you like them, then you should like go back and listen to like. I spoke to someone the other day that really loves like Leve. She's like a jazz artist, and I was like, go back and listen to like Ella Fitzgerald and like all of those, because it's like she's clearly really influenced by them, and it's so I just think.
Do you know how many young artists I've had on this program, and they've gone, I really like da, and I've said exactly that. Go back and listen to, and they're like, really?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I know, and I sound like an absolute, like, I sound like a bit of a nerd, but I just love it. Like, my parents, my dad's always been kind of like my music
guru,
guide, if you will, because my mum's actually a pianist and musician, but like my dad just loves music, and I think that's the best thing, because if you just absolutely love listening to music, like I always test my music out on family, because they're not listening to like the level of the bass or like do you know what I mean? They're listening to like the overall sound and like, do they like it? Is the vibe right? Do they get what I'm trying to say? And if that's a yes, then I've done an all right job.
You've done your all right thing.
Yeah.
Right. Next question is about
Yeah.
your record collection.
Okay.
Right. What's the weirdest thing in your record collection, or what's one? Pick an album out that you've got in your record collection which nobody would expect of you, or perhaps you think nobody has ever heard of.
Okay. So I've got something that immediately sprung to mind,
Cool.
because I love going to like vinyl shops that are like back of beyond and just have like the weirdest stuff in. Yeah, literally. Would you want me to actually go through? I don't know if I can find it though. That's the only thing. But thing that's come to my head, it's like it's a Joni Mitchell album, and it's like something like the green in. Oh, is it a Stevie Wonder one? Might be Stevie. It's either Stevie or Joni, but it's like in between the grass. It's like the whistling grass or something, and it's like the weirdest sounding album, but it's actually really cool.
It's a Joni Mitchell. It's a Joni
Mitchell one. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. And I listened to it the other day, and I was like, I just feel like you've got to be on drugs. Do you know what I mean? To like really appreciate this. But it was amazing. Yeah. And so I've got that one, and I listened to it the other day, and I was like, cool. I like it. But yeah, it's different.
I love that. For me, yeah, it's about finding those. Sometimes it's really good to come in at those really weird spots in an artist's career as well.
Yeah.
Some of their albums that are really quite difficult. You know, it's like, if you have you ever listened to like Miles Davis, for example?
Yes. So my granddad loved jazz, so I've got his stuff in there somewhere as well.
Cool. The one to start with, everybody out there, is Bitches Brew. That's the one to start with. Start with the Way Out, right?
Right.
Don't start with like you know, the more
blue. What was the blue one's his well-known one?
Yeah. Don't start with the earlier stuff, right? Where it's, you know, which is still quite way out. Go when he's like playing with like all of these rock musicians and you know, crossover fusion musicians and whatever, and it's all a bit difficult, right? Have you ever made yourself listen to an album which you really couldn't listen to begin with?
Yeah, I always try and listen to like the whole thing, even if I'm like, this isn't for me, because I just feel like there's always, like with an album, and you like don't get it so much now, like an album's meant to be listened from like top to bottom for like a journey, if you will. So I always try and like stay at least for one side. I'll stay for like the whole thing. But yeah, there have been moments where I'm just like, oh no, I can't get on. I'm not sure about this, but it's good to try different stuff because it's good to appreciate. And also, if like something's popular, like, you know, there's got to be something in it that's made it popular, and like trying to understand it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, there's definitely been times where I'm like, I don't know. I'm listening.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Listen, for any of you geeks that are listening, I know there's quite a number of you that are listening that are kind of music geeks. It's a 1975 album, that Joni Mitchell album that Sophie was referring to. It's The Hissing of Summer Lawns.
That's the one.
There we Brilliant. Go. What a great album.
Yeah.
What are you writing about right now?
What am I writing about right now?
Yeah.
So I've got an idea, and I'm actually going to go into a session with it.
Nice.
Just about like really gets on my nerves when like someone is aloof but for no reason. Like, yeah, like so someone like looks down their nose at you, and I just think, come on now.
Oh dear.
We all poo, we all fart, and no one is better than anybody else. And it really grinds my gears. So I've got like a little idea, and I've actually got a session tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna go in and write about that.
Does it like I sort of like think that about when people like talk about particular professions as well. It's like, oh, you know, they're a binman or whatever. You just think, well, if that person didn't collect your bins,
without them, wouldn't we?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Here's the thing. whatever profession you're in, right? There are good people at doing that profession who take pride and really care about how it's done and want to see it done better and, you know, want to push it forward. And then there are people that are bad at it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I get mad at bin people, right? If they just chuck everything around, don't actually leave litter on the pavement or whatever, break your bins or whatever. They're not great bin people. Great bin people are the ones that stack it all nicely, manage to get it all in. Yeah, they're amazing bin people.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think it's just about taking pride in what you do and doing a good job at everything that you set out to do. My mum had the saying, and it was like, whatever you are, be a good one.
That's the way.
I always take that through life. So whether it's like a tiny, you know, a smaller job that needs doing, or like a bigger one, whatever you are, be a good one.
Is that the title of the song? Is that the title of the song?
No, but I mean, it could be actually.
Could be, though, couldn't it?
One for the notes app.
Yeah. Whatever you are, be a good one.
Yeah, I like it.
Be great, that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Sung properly by Sophie, not by me.
Oh, that's great. I liked it.
You know, but yeah, no, it's important. You know, we should really recognise when people are just, doesn't matter about money. That's not, I mean, that's not success. No. How, as a young artist trying to break through and all of that sort of thing, how do you measure success? What's success for you?
I think, like, I'm a massive perfectionist. So, like, a successful day for me is like feeling proud of something that I've made. Like, I think there's some days where, you know, you aren't going to come out with a hit every single session, because that's not life. But like, a successful day is like coming out and feeling absolutely buzzing from a session and being like, regardless of what anybody else thinks, I really believe in what I've done today and I think this is great. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a really, because if I don't have a day like that, I'm a little bit down in the dumps, but then you keep moving, because that's what you have to do in this industry. You have to, like, try something. If it doesn't work, try something else. So yeah, and I think, like, just always being, I think, an idea of success for me is, like, obviously being comfortable in this career, because that's hard in itself, but like being proud of what I'm making is really important, and like the integrity and the authenticity being there as well.
Also, going back to what I said earlier, do you think it's about surrounding yourself with people with great energy?
100%. Like, this industry is, you know, it can be really tough. So if you've not got the right people around you, it can be a really difficult ride, and it can actually be really taxing on your mental health. And if you don't have if your head's not in the right place, it's really hard to write, you know, coherently, if you will. Or sometimes that can be the things that comes from, like, the best songs come from difficult situations. But I think, like, obviously in the long run, you want to have, like, good people surrounding you and, like, a good unit. Like, I'm really grateful for my family, because they're like, you know, if I didn't have them, don't know where I'd be.
I feel exactly the same when I'm doing things like this.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I've got to be honest now. I mean, I don't just do music ones. I do, like, conversational content all day long with across all walks of life and whatever. I know as soon as I step in the room virtually with the other person, I know within minutes, really, if their energy is going to give me a really good day or their energy is going to make me exhausted by the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's like being a creative person in general. Like, in order to express and, like, express a relatable feeling, like, you have to experience that feeling first, right? So it's all about, like, digesting and being an emotional sponge, and then, like, making that into whatever, like, form of expression or creativity that you do. So that could be art, or that could be music, or whatever it tickles your pickle, if you will. And then you putting it out there. So, like, I think that is what being a creative person is, and I've come to accept that about myself, because I'm very sensitive, and, like, I absorb and, like, other people's energy all the time, and something that I'm really trying to work on, actually, because it can be like you get to the end of the day and you're, like, zapped if you've had, like, you know, in a room with potentially someone that, like, you just don't align with, and, like, that's okay. Like, it doesn't mean one of you's right and one of you's wrong, but, like, you just don't get along with someone, or, like, Yeah, it can be a lot, can't it? But
if someone's constantly kind of coming back with you or making it awkward, or you're
yeah,
asking them questions and they're not opening up and they're not giving anything of themselves or whatever, and you're the one that's having to push or pull the the relationship all of the
yeah,
time or whatever, it's like
yeah, it can be a
exhausting.
lot.
It's
Yeah,
exhausting. Yeah, that's not great for your mental health. Avoid people like that. What
yeah,
you need to do is you need to find more princes.
yeah.
Imagine he must have had so much energy.
I know, yeah, and it's so. I mean, my dad like he goes through and watches like YouTube videos about like. So God knows if it's actually true or not. But
How many times has he watched the Prince guitar solo when he
oh
played?
my gosh, I know exactly what one you're.
You know what I'm talking about, right? While my guitar gently weeps. I bet you over and over again he's come up to you and shown you, goes, that is gold, isn't it?
Yeah,
Look at that.
I get at least one WhatsApp a day of a YouTube video that I should be watching, and I love it. I love it. It's so good. But yeah, like it's yeah.
My,
He apparently he did this thing where like he would have a studio in his house and like just be like, right, I want to write a song now and fly people over.
I know.
That's the dream, isn't it?
I know. It's great when you if you listen to like interviews with musicians that at the time maybe secretly worked with Prince, but then later on they've been allowed to talk about it, and they go like, yeah, but kind of like he knew somebody that I knew, and then he just phoned up, and I was like answered the phone, and it was just like, who's this? And it's like Prince. It's like, really? Nah. Yeah. Can I just come to your house this afternoon? I just want to jam.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely. So cool.
I don't think he had any. I think that was the one place where he kind of like completely put his ego down. I mean, there was massive ego there, sort of, or performance there a lot of the time. But
yeah,
I think when it came to writing music, he was as much and this is the same for any great musician. They're always as much of a fan as they are an artist.
Yeah, and a proper muso, like that's the thing. Like when you get in the studio with like amazing artists and like they are musicians first, and like that they'll geek out on the same things that any other musician would geek out on. Do you know what I mean? So
absolutely. Yeah. Penultimate question. I'm going to give you half an hour in the studio with anybody in the world. Who is it?
Oh, what, dead or alive?
Dead or alive, yeah.
Oh god.
Or dead or alive, dead and alive, or
yeah. Well, actually, I don't know why. Yeah, I asked that question because both the ones I'm thinking of are alive. Can I have two?
Yeah.
and I would absolutely poo my pants, and I'd probably just sit there with like my mouth agape the whole time. I love Stevie Wonder and I love Billy Joel, and I think Billy Joel is so phenomenal as a songwriter, and I'd absolutely just love to just be in his presence and watch his process because I think he's fantastic.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Very tempting though, isn't it? When if you met people like that and you were in the studio with them to go, could you just play piano, man?
Yeah. I know. Do you know what I'd show him as well? I'm learning to play my great granddad's harmonicas, and I'll be like, have a look at this, Billy.
Really?
I've only played it like once, and I'm like going around showing everyone. Yeah, literally like everyone in their serious like adult 9 to 5, and I'm like, guys, have a look at what I've done today.
And he'd be like, very good.
Yeah, he'd be like, oh, definitely room for improvement, but it's all right.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And finally, just tell everybody what they should be adding to their playlist of yours right now.
Ooh. Well, my latest, obviously, it's got to be the latest, doesn't it? I've got a whole project coming out later this year, which I'm really excited about. So, like the latest single from that is YOLO Lol. It's like all of these like kind of reminiscent of like 60s pop sound, obviously merged with modern day, if you will.
That just has to have a t-shirt, doesn't it?
It does. I think it would be actually rude not to if that didn't come out at some point.
Yeah,
I'll get working on that as well. Lots of food for thought from today.
I think it kind of needs kind of 60s type writing. as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. I'm seeing it. I see the vision.
I love that.
I'm like,
What color t-shirts would you do? I think like I'm thinking like a nice pink with a yellow and
yeah.
do you know, like back in the day when t-shirts were slightly gory,
Yeah,
but
garish. I like that. Yeah, like big, loud colours. But
yeah,
then I always think so. Get a load of this. I did a boot sale the other day.
love boot
And it was
sales.
my first ever boot sale, right? But like all my clothes are a bit out there. Like I know that about myself. 'Cause, do you know what I mean? Why not? And like someone walked past and was like, "That's a bit weird." It's like, all right. So I don't know if someone would buy it or if it would just be me wearing it. I'm not really sure. But either way, I feel like you always got to make stuff that you would wear. Do you know what I mean?
I've never seen anyone do this, right? You have to get used to me, right? I'm a creative. This is what I do for a living, right?
Yeah.
Outside of this, I help people create ideas.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody on their music Instagram yet do a boot sale. You should do another one, right? And you've got your clothes, and then as people are looking and they're saying stuff or whatever, you just like then suddenly come up next to them with the microphone and then just start singing
At them. Yeah.
at them, whilst they're looking, and just get the reactions and whatever, and just it'd be great. And then like cut back to like scenes of you like selling stuff for like a pound, 50p, 50p. That'd be great.
Literally, I feel that would like drive sales down though. Like I might scare people away if I just sing at them.
Doesn't matter. It would drive the sales of the music up.
That's it, and that's what's important. Right.
It is.
Okay, cool. We're thinking of the bigger picture here, and I like it.
Although I do think that maybe actually the right people might then turn up for the next boot sale where you're doing it, thinking that they might get in the video.
Get a little free show.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right.
And it is the case with boot sales that the more people that you have, because I've done loads, right?
Yeah.
I think about 400 quid is the most I've cleared in a day at a boot sale.
Whoa, that's good. That
I'm good at bartering.
Good salesman. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Mine weren't great. My sales skills, I've come to realize. But anyway, go on.
Start at the right price.
I know, but I was pricing it too high. I was like 100. No, I wasn't saying that.
No. Start at kind of the right price that you know, and plus like 10%, and then just come down the 10%, and then everybody's happy, right?
Okay, that's a good idea. All right.
But the ones that do the best are the ones that have always got a crowd around them. So
that's it, because people are like, oh, what's going on here? Clearly some good
gear,
if you will. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Maybe I should just rent a crowd and then we'll be busy all day.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. If you actually started singing, like, you know, and use that as a bit of a video or whatever, that would get the crowd round, and then all of the gear will go, right?
Dust off me busking case.
Absolutely. It's got to be done. Sophie, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, likewise. Yeah, and you. Thanks for having me.
So thank you so much for coming on. We will be adding some music of Sophie's to the My Music podcast playlist to make it easier for those that are already connected to the playlist to find. But do go and add her tunes then to your playlist as well. And stop by, say hello to Sophie on the socials, and tell her why you love her so much. That's the important thing. We will be back soon with more of the same. But from Sophie and me today, this has been My Music. Bye for now.